Hello, if you're looking to apply to the Global Executive MBA program at Insead, first of all, great choice. I'm Sadaf. I am an Insead alum from the class of 2009, and today I'm going to give you my top 5 tips on how to get into the GEMBA program. Number 1, make sure you articulate a clear and well thought through career strategy. A lot of people are mid-career when they apply to the Executive MBA program, and they can feel a bit stuck in their careers, or they can have a number of options open to them and they haven't quite decided which one they want to take. That's okay, but when it comes to writing the application form, the candidates that get in are the ones that have done the work and come up with a very detailed action plan. They have thought about short-term goals, long-term goals. They have thought about the kind of companies they might want to be in with names if they want to change their company, or they have worked out in great detail where they want to go in the next step and how they want to get there. If your aspiration is to change your career, make sure you fully explain your rationale for doing so. And if you're inspired by something, state what that is. Make sure your plan is ambitious, but within the realm of possibility. And make sure that you have thought through alternatives. So if you don't go to Insead, what will you do? If you don't get into an Executive MBA program, what would be your alternatives? They like seeing a well thought through, multi-layered career strategy so that you don't have all your eggs in one basket, but you do have a clear plan A, B, C, and you are more likely to get in that way. My second tip for you is to make sure you become an expert on the GEMBA program. And by that, I don't just mean read up on it on the website. I mean, speak to alumni, speak to current students, attend university admission days, look at career events that might be happening in your city where Insead might be participating, and read the online forums where students are talking about the program. And the reason I'm advising you to do that is that then talk about that program in your application with those specific details that you have taken the time to figure out, and choose which bits from all the amazing offering Insead has that you would be using to help you meet your career goals. Because one of the things all business schools track is how well the candidates have done after they've graduated from the program. And these things help their rankings. So the people who come prepared with knowing exactly how they're going to avail the specific opportunities, because nobody can do them all, those are the people who are more likely to get ahead and do well. And so that's one thing that they look out for. My third point to you, and this I would probably say is one of the most important points, is to really take the time to reflect on your strengths and weaknesses. Especially for mid-career professionals, Insead expects that you have lived many great experiences and you have taken the time to reflect on them and have learned a lot from them. So when you're answering a question about, let's say, your greatest strength, I cannot tell you how much I cringe every time somebody writes perfectionism, for instance. That is not a good thing, a good example to give. A lot of candidates do that, and then actually it doesn't make you come across as authentic or genuine. So think about something that really is a weakness, but not something that is business critical for your role or for your career. And also make sure that when you write about what it is, you very quickly move on to talking about all the steps you have already done to overcome that weakness, so that they don't have to worry that at the end of the program that this is going to still be a weakness of yours. My fourth tip for you is to answer the question behind the question. So one of the tips on the Insead application form is to describe the ways in which a foreigner to your country might experience culture shock. Now, I'm sure you come from a lovely country and you can write in detail about it, but the question is really not about your country. The question is to try and understand if you are the sort of person who can see the world from the lens of somebody else, if you can understand the nuances from different perspectives, if you can appreciate things that might be lacking in your way of working or doing things, and can you have an intelligent collaborative discussion about that with peers in your Insead GEMBA program. So the hero of the story has to always be you, and your thoughts and your perspectives and your ways of working, even if the question is asking you about your country. My fifth tip for you is to talk about all the ways in which you would contribute to the GEMBA program. A lot of time candidates start the application form thinking what is it that they need and what's their career and where they want to go. But actually Insead and all business schools, to be fair, are more interested in what you would offer the rest of the participants and their institution. So talk about what value you would add to class discussions given your unique background. If you have a diversity of experience, which I'm sure you do, because it might be in your work experience, for other people it's in the countries they've lived in, for some other people it might just be with the types of different people and projects they've worked on. So make sure you talk about how you would enrich the experience for everybody else using your background. Maybe you want to start a club that doesn't exist on campus. Make sure it's a genuine example, because the program is pretty intense and we want to always write things that are going to be realistic and achievable. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be just during the program. So maybe as an alumni, you might want to mentor students in future or open the door for people in the industry that you work in. So always think about giving, not getting. And here is my bonus tip for you. Try to answer the question at the end, which asks if there's anything else you want to share. Now, please make sure you don't repeat something you've already said somewhere else. That is not why this question is there. And if you don't have anything to write, you can totally leave it blank. But I feel especially for executive MBA candidates who have lived such rich experiences, there's always something that you can talk about. I'm sure most of your career-related stuff and motivations for the program you've covered in the program. But have a reflection about other experiences that you've had that maybe developed a key skill in you or developed a trait in you that stands out from other people. A lot of times it's a good idea to ask friends and family about what makes you unique, because sometimes we're so used to our own story we don't see the specialness in it. But it is prime real estate on the application form, so do make the effort to think of something really valuable and unique that you could say that is not covered in the typical questions. A lot of executive MBA candidates come to me after they've already had a crack at the application and they realize that they are not quite getting there. And I tell them that just like we choose to have a personal trainer to help us achieve our fitness goals, it can often be a very good idea to speak to a specialist in the field who can very quickly pinpoint the things that are lacking in your application and help you get them just right so that you can get into your top choice of university, which matters so much more at this stage in your career. So if you want to contact somebody in my team or myself to help you with your application, please use the information on the screen right now, and somebody in my team would be happy to get back to you, and good luck.